Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about one name, the name of which may be the single greatest asset on the planet, the king of the crypto markets. That name, you guys know exactly what it is. You guys know exactly what this video is about. It is about Bitcoin. So, you guys, Bitcoin just broke out. We are currently playing out a beautiful textbook inverse head and shoulders pattern. So I'm excited to give you guys a few of my price targets and also let you guys know if I personally believe new all-time highs are on the horizon. So let's get straight into it. As always, we'll quickly go over each topic we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. This one's going to be quick, super to the point. We're not even covering articles. That may be for tomorrow and definitely for Sunday's video. But today, we're just going to be looking at the charts. So we're going to be diving into Bitcoin. The whole crypto market is looking pretty good. These charts did just recycle about half an hour ago. So not looking super crazy when you're looking at that percentage change. But if you look at the chart right here, again, parabolic move up last night. You'll love to see it. And again, I do believe an inverse head and shoulders is playing out right now. And I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin. As I'm sure most of you could assume, I'm pretty much an eternal optimist, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. So excited to dive in. Before we do, though, I have to, before even shouting out the newsletter and stuff, I want to talk to my existing subscribers, okay? So you guys, I've been getting so many mentions, so many emails about the newsletter. And the fact that some of you are not receiving it, which bums me out super hard. And I've been in contact with Teachable for the past few days now, and they're experiencing some issues on there. And so I guess there is an issue where you have to allow promotional emails from me to receive the newsletter. This just changed. This was like a new law that was enacted very, very recently, just last week. So you guys, please go into your Teachable account settings and make sure the box is checked where you are allowing promotional emails from me. I know the emails going to your spam folder may be an issue as well. So you guys, please check that, but know that I've been sending them out every day. It bums me out so hard to know that some of you just thought I stopped, but I've been sending them out every day. I mean, I like to think they're getting better, but been sending them out every single day. So again, you guys, please make sure that box that allows promotional emails is checked in your Teachable settings, and that it's not going to your spam folder. And if worse comes to worse, I did create a new area, a new section in the course curriculum that is like right here. When you roll the course, you can check out the course curriculum right here, the daily newsletter. So April 30th, I will update this every day. I download the PDF of the email I send out of the newsletter itself, and then drop it into the course curriculum. So if you guys aren't receiving it, and trust me, I'm working out, like I'm snapping at Teachable, if I'm being completely honest. This is very bad for both my business and for you guys, more importantly. So again, trust me, I'm doing my best to work this out as quickly as I can with Teachable. But until then, if you aren't receiving the newsletter, I know there's a lot of you that still are, but it's more of an issue than it's ever been, which again, freaking pisses me off and bums me out a lot. So it will be in the course curriculum as well. I do update that every day immediately after I send out the newsletter. So again, until this issue is resolved, please, you guys, check this out if you are not receiving the emails, okay? And of course, do that other stuff I checked. So again, terrible time to shout this out, so I'm actually not even good. But you guys, if you want a complete breakdown on my portfolio, updated every single trading day. Fridays are usually for the family, but I really did actually want to get this PSA to existing subscribers out because that is very, very important to me. And I also just want to talk about Bitcoin because it's freaking ripping right now. And also, I was gone for a few days and I did miss a couple of videos, so I figured I had to make it up to you guys. So again, please give the video a like if you go on to gain value from it today, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. But again, this video is more for the OGs, for the members of the Waves fam already. But if you're new around here, I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed this regardless. So let's just dive into it. Again, you guys, this one's going to be quick to the point. Just want to talk to you guys about my price targets, short, medium, and a little longer term, primarily short to medium term, I'd say. So Bitcoin on the way up did break resistance for a while here. You could see it was dancing right underneath this line of resistance on the short-term downtrend. Saw a crazy ceiling right there, broke it above it a couple times on the 4 hour, which usually is my indication. But you can see a little bull trappy action going on right here, dipped below it again. But in one single candle, one single big old buy order. I wonder who that was. I wonder which whale that was. Big market mover. Literally move the market. So you see a huge candle up right here. Did play out a little bull flag this morning, and that bull flag was resolved in as a bull flag. as you'd imagine a bull flag does, and that was to the upside. So my initial price target for Bitcoin, the first area, very short term, like maybe tomorrow by the time I will upload this later today, but if some of you guys see it tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if by like tomorrow morning, for most of you. I know I'm in Hawaii, so I'm a little further back than you guys. It's very, very likely to me that we will come up to test at least 60K. The reason for that is to perfectly play out this head and shoulders, I would say for the most part. We would actually have to get up here, and I'll explain why that is also. But prior to this massive dump was initiated. This big single 4-hour dump, this massive red candle, was initiated just at 60K. So once Bitcoin broke below 60K, that's when you saw a big sell-off. This was catalyzed. I can't remember what specific fundamental event. Let's get rid of those as distracting. I can't remember what specific fundamental event. I mean, obviously, it was the break of this very, very significant line of what was support, which I do believe will come into play as new resistance. I'll explain that right after this head and shoulders. But this candle right here, if we resolve this this inverse head and shoulders. So inverse head and shoulders, I'm sorry I did not explain that before. I assume all you guys know what that is, and I do have these drawn here for you guys to kind of get an idea of what that is. Inverse head and shoulders. Head and shoulders is probably one of the most recognizable patterns in technical analysis. That is where you see a head and shoulders pattern. So it's going to go up, create a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Obviously, the inverse head and shoulders is the exact opposite of that. So it's just that flipped on its head, literally. So as you can see here, I guess this is the right shoulder, head, and then left shoulder. You can see this right here. This dump caused the kind of the arm, I guess, shoulder pad, head, other shoulder pad, and then this is going to be resolved. Again, in my opinion, we're going to see the initial resistance for this at about 60K, just because that's where this red candle started off prior to really dumping this single 4-hour candle. And I do believe 60K is, I mean, it's not my opinion, it's an objective truth that 60K is going to act as some psychological resistance. Every increment of 10K, every round number, you guys, it usually acts as some semblance, usually has some semblance of psychological resistance, okay? So I do think we're going to see a little bit of resistance there, but ultimately I think it's very, very likely that we actually come up here as well too. Let's actually alter this line because you guys don't even need to see that anymore. The upside is all that's important. So I do think to technically play out this head and shoulders pattern, we will come up to this area, which was the last high prior to this big dump, this big sell-off that we saw, okay? So I think it's very likely that this does resolve here. This would actually take us, if we also resolve this head and shoulders at the exact same time that we test the overall line of support. So you guys, this was the primary reason for that big dump, for that huge sell-off, was immediately when Bitcoin broke this line of support beginning way back in late February. So since the end of February, Bitcoin was in this nice ascending channel right here, using this as a very strong line of support. Once Bitcoin broke that, that's when we really started dumping. That's when we saw the sell-off to test absolute support down here around $48,000. And again, beautiful, like textbook inverse head and shoulders you guys playing out right now. These a big thing here is that both shoulders in this scenario prior to the breakout are almost exactly symmetrical. They span the exact same amount of time before resolving themselves. So that makes me extremely bullish. I do think it's likely that Bitcoin ultimately comes up here. If it resolves, if it tests the line that was once support, TA101 uses that previous line of support as new resistance and also resolves this head and shoulders at the exact same time. That would take us to about May 4th. So May the 4th be with us. Let's hope that plays out. But keep in mind, you guys, it could happen a lot sooner. If we see this, like over the coming days, if we see this, say by like May 2nd, which makes a little more sense to me, come up real quick to test 60K and then climb our way to this line of support. Line of resistance, I'm sorry, that was previous support. I do think we're going to see definitely some resistance here because that's what all TA is. It proved itself right here immediately off this bounce that this previous line of support is being used as new resistance. So I do think this trend line will come into play. That said, if we can close above, I mean, just to play it super safe here, you guys, I'm just going to say if we can close above $63,000 over the coming week, so over the next 7 days, by next Friday, definitely by next Friday, if we can close, actually not, I shouldn't say next Friday because this is a pretty steep trend line. So over the coming days, by like May 2nd or 3rd, if we can close above this trend line. So I'll just say right now, you guys know the drill here. Go into TradingView, draw these lines for yourself, draw these trend lines, because these will ultimately dictate whether we start ripping up or not again. Okay, so if by May 2nd, I'll just say that right now, if by May 2nd we can close above $63,000, that will signify to me a break of this line of resistance that was once support. Will get back into this massive ascending channel, and I do think it's very likely that ultimately Bitcoin finally comes up to break, like to test the top side of this ascending channel that we've been waiting for so long. So again, sorry this looks a little crazy, you guys, but I just need to show you guys how strong this channel is. Again, Bitcoin here, the tippy top, the head, the little hairs of the head did act as support, did bounce off the absolute line of support of Bitcoin's overall uptrend that began way back in late December, okay, mid to late December. And that's what I've been waiting for. I'm happy to see that, and now that it's finally tested, now it's playing out this beautiful inverse head and shoulders, I do think new all-time highs are on the horizon, and significant all-time highs at that. So if we hit this in mid-May, May 20th, if we do test this trend line on May 18th, just exactly dead center of that. And again, you guys, it's all dependent on when these trend lines are hit. So mid-May, May 18th, this is just a few weeks out. That would take us to a $93,000 Bitcoin. And considering altcoins do look like they're slowing down a little bit, I do want to say altcoins have just been on a tear. If you look at the BTC to altcoin, the BTC dominance chart, which is Bitcoin stacked up against all the altcoins, altcoins have been actually absolutely stomping all over Bitcoin. And again, nothing goes straight up forever, just as nothing goes straight down forever. I do think that Bitcoin will reclaim some semblance of dominance over the near future, but altcoins are still looking hot. Ether is just dancing on all-time highs pretty much at all times. So I'm not going to discount the power of altcoins, especially because their market caps are significantly smaller. A lot of traders understand that. Traders do understand that it's easier to have your money make you a lot of money with altcoins because the market caps are smaller. It takes less capital inflow to the project, to the coin, to appreciate the individual token value. So traders do understand that. Traders in this market, especially the crypto market right now, is just hot. There's a lot of hot capital, hot heads flying around here, and they want their money to make them money. Rightfully so. We all do. So it makes sense to me that altcoins could continue their dominance and could continue to assert dominance over Bitcoin. But because Bitcoin has been getting so smoked, I would not be surprised to see at some point maybe some of the capital start flowing back from altcoins into Bitcoin. So we'll see if that happens. If that happens, then definitely I can see Bitcoin coming up pretty quickly to test this top line of resistance. But say it happens by early June. So just June 1st, just end of the month price target of May for Bitcoin is just under 100K. So June 1st, if we test it on June 1st, would take us up to about $98,000. So again, you guys, just draw these trend lines. Very, very simple trend lines. This one right here is pretty much all you need to keep an eye on. Of course, this one right here is going to be what I'm keeping an eye on in the short term. We'll zoom back in here. But to sum up this video, you guys, this makes me so happy. Bitcoin, again, broke short-term resistance on the current short-term downtrend. And I'm very, very confident in the fact that we are, in fact, back to the races. I do think this short-term head and shoulders is going to play out. This more medium-term head and shoulders, I guess, has been playing out for a couple of weeks now already. So I do expect this to be resolved to the upside. I do see new all-time highs on the horizon, and considering that's the case, I do think we're going to break back into this ascending channel. And once we do that, I'm pretty confident in the fact that at some point over the coming month, we are going to ultimately test the overall line of resistance on this uptrend and slowly make our way. Maybe it takes a little over a month, which I'd be just fine with. To get to 100K, that would take us to June 7th. So if we want to get to exactly 100K, if we test this trend line on exactly June 7th, that would take us to the elusive six-figure Bitcoin, and I would absolutely love to see it, even if it takes a little bit longer, okay? So we'll call it there, you guys. Please let me know what your projections of Bitcoin are below, what you're bullish on. Again, Fridays are for the family. If you guys joined the Discord live this morning, really appreciate that. That was a fun time. And yeah, looking forward to more of those in the future. Looking forward to Sunday's episode of Stock Watch. And of course, if Bitcoin performs over the weekend, you guys know what that Stock Watch is going to be concerning, okay? So I'll talk to you guys downstairs in the comments. And as always, you guys, I appreciate you watching. So until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.